Hello folks, this is Steve AB for you. I just came in from doing something outside with my car. It's getting close to freezing. I'm making sure the battery's charged enough because it's going to get really cold tonight. And I need to go back out in a couple of minutes. So to do this, I decided just not to get undressed. About 2 hours ago, one of the places I go to is this website. It's called a spotter site. Somebody is broadcast, ham radio is on the air, and they make a contact. And that person that makes a contact with them may put a spot, a note here. Hang on. So right now, the latest one right at the top, there's a contest going on called Worldwide Award 2025. And here's a contact by somebody in ham radio YB70NC on the 10-meter band, 28440. And he contacted 8E3R a few minutes ago, and he sent a spot into this light, all right? And it's the guy he contacted in Indonesia. The one below that is somebody on the 75-meter band, 75-meter band, 80-meter band, CW, is in Portugal, and he contacted somebody in Portugal. Here's one for Australia. I want you to give the feeling. So this is worldwide. Sometimes when I make a contact and I want to let other people know that station's on, I'll put a spot on here too. You can see that it's active. Well, earlier, you can do a search. You see the search over here? Earlier, I wanted to see if I could contact WG4L because it was on the spotter. It's Parks on the Air, POTA, Parks on the Air, and then it's US, because there's parks all over the world, -0843. Now the guy is WG4L, and there's a site called QRZ, and he has a page. There's first licensed in 2018, upgraded to extra. Now he gave his previous call signs. Now he's WG4L as of 2019. Member of the Georgia Tech Amateur Radio Club until 2020. Since moved to Massachusetts. Now we're going to get to what I'm interested in. When I was going through this to find out where he was, the park he was operating from, I learned something interesting. So he does portable parks on the air operations, and the one he was doing today was this one. Remember, it's US-0843. Longfellow House, yeah, the writer, way back. Longfellow House, National Historic Site. And they show that it's in the Boston area. Specifically, it's in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And see, you see WG4L. He worked it several days in a row, and he's got hundreds of contacts. So he's giving people that park for the ones that chase it. And the particular location is known, and it's a nationalparkservice.gov. Longfellow's house, Washington's headquarters. And here's a drawing or whatever of the upper part of a house from a long time ago, and it's made of brick. Looks like it's a big one. Longfellow House, Washington's headquarters. National Historic Site preserves a remarkable Georgian house whose occupants shaped our nation. It was the site of colonial enslavement and community activism, and also George Washington's first long-term headquarters of the American Revolution. So that really goes way back. And the place where Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote his canon of the 19th century American literature. Now, when I was a junior in high school, one of the classes I took was American literature. And so he came up on, right? So that's where it is. He was operating WG4L. I put in Longfellow House. It says Longfellow - Washington, Washington's headquarters, National Historic Site. But I want to say address, mansion. It says it's in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Temporarily closed. There's a nice picture of it. You see the chimneys on the top? We got the right house. Okay, here it is. Now, I'm retracing my steps, and then I hit on something that I didn't expect. So the address is 105 Brattle Street, Cambridge, Mass. Harvard's in Cambridge, Mass. MIT's in Cambridge, Mass. I'm just thinking, So I'm getting that address. Now, when I want to find out who owns a certain property in Randolph County, because I'm in Randolph County, the county seat is Asheboro. We're right in the heart of North Carolina State, east, west, north, south. And I would go to the Randolph GIS. So if I just put in Randolph GIS, there's other counties apparently, so I'll say Randolph NC GIS. GIS site, Randolph County GIS. And here's the actual website. Then you have to agree. Now, in North Carolina, this is county by county, and other places when I've done checking, it's county by county. Now, I'm not off the path. Watch. So, like, here's Alamance County, there's Chatham County, there's Davidson County. So there's Asheboro. And then when you get in close enough, it's showing you the satellite view, and it's showing boundaries for properties. And so a place where I fill up in the gas station is right there. I'm doing this to show you how it would work locally. So I want to have info, so that's the mode, and I would click on this red circle thing, and I'll say parcel information. And the owner is called Tank and Tummy LLC. It's a gas station. Remember recently I made some videos where there's been accidents in this intersection right here? I put one up last week. All right, now I'm showing you how the GIS works here in Randolph County, North Carolina. Now there's a reason why I'm showing you this first. All right, this is not being very cooperative. Hang on. I want to get the GIS for Cambridge, Massachusetts. Let's see if I can do it this way. Because that's where the house is. This is not what I'm looking for. There we go. Massachusetts Interactive Property Map. Now, when I was doing this earlier and I was trying to find where that plot was, I stumbled on this. Mass GIS. Massachusetts Interactive Property Map was the particular feature that I used. Now, I don't know if towns have their own in Massachusetts, but I was stunned. Look at what it is. Massachusetts Interactive Property Map. Not some county in Massachusetts. Now it says enter address or place something. So what did we say the address was? "105 Brattle Street, Cambridge, Massachusetts." I was stunned when I was trying to find the GIS stuff, because I assumed it would do something like bring me right down to a satellite view and tell me who owns it and stuff like what kind of neighborhood it is. I put in the address and I hit enter. Now, if I actually click on that, now wait a minute, can I get in closer? There it is. I don't think I can make that bigger. All right, I tried to make it bigger, but the thing says 105 Brattle Street, Cambridge. United States, who owns it? United States of America. And the owner's address is 575 Technology Square, Cambridge, Massachusetts. So that's where the park. So it says the building value, remember the picture? Is $6.5 million. The land value is $9.8 million. I believe that because of the history. Total value, 16 million plus. How many acres? 1.98. 2 acres. I wonder what the house, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's an interesting question. Wait a minute, I'm not doing that right. This is impromptu. How about the property next door? 5 million. Land value 3 million. How about this one? 2.7 million. Now, from a long time ago, a friend of my brother's, who also had a car repair shop, the name was interesting. Toad's Kin. There you go. Toad's Kin Car Company. You see the little thing up there? And you see this back here? This reminds me of some of the mills around here. I got a feeling that this was something to do with long back, like textile mills or something, because there were a lot of them in Massachusetts, and I just go down the road 2 miles, and when I look at a building, when I see this in the back, it looks just exactly like what the textile mill brick buildings were just 2 miles down the road there in Franklinville. I've made videos about that. Auto repair in Northampton, Massachusetts. What we're looking for is an address. 5 Middle Street, Florence, Mass. Okay. Now, why am I doing this? Well, here we are on the Longfellow House in Cambridge, Boston, and this GIS is good for the whole state? I know there's more than one county in Massachusetts. So if I put the address in there, what went wrong? Back it off. Why is this so small? There we go. I'm learning as I go. Everybody that designs a website's got a slightly different approach. So what we did is, first we went to Longfellow's mansion in Cambridge, Mass, on the Massachusetts Interactive Property Map. And the owner of this building at the 5 Middle Street where the Toadskin Car Company is Florence. Oh, I was right. Florence Sewing Building Incorporated. The building value is $378,000. The land value is $220,000. So it's about $500,000. 0.86 acres. Now, wait a minute. Let's just try this, just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. I haven't done this before. It says International Sewing Machine Collectors Society. I can remember my mother, when I was a kid, like 5 years old, my mother had a sewing machine that had a pedal down, big pedal, and you put your foot on it and you do this with your feet and it runs the sewing machine, a Singer sewing machine. Florence Sewing Machine, Florence Sewing Machine Company history. Oh, this is an earlier than the Singer. That's what I was talking. You see the pedals down there? So this was some kind of sewing. Some odd years ago, a crowd gathered on the edge of a field in Brimfield, Massachusetts, to watch a crazy-looking Englishman attempting to dismantle a treadle sewing machine with the aid of a bent electrician's screwdriver. So they got one of these, and it says, most desirable of the Florence treadles. So this machine was probably made in what? Florence, Massachusetts? When? This version, known as the fancy or pierced leg, see the ironwork? Actually uses a very fine iron casting and intricate decoration to give a very delicate effect. The drive is a flat belt on the counter shaft, which also supports the flywheel. You mean like in a car engine, they have a flywheel so that it keeps steady motion rather than start and stop according to whether you take your foot off, it still keeps sewing? This is the first time I'm reading this. But why did they, so they're talking about the Florence sewing machines, lock stitch with reversible feed motion, Florence Sewing Machine Company, Florence, Massachusetts, USA. I said, the building I saw off in the distance looked like textile mills that would a sewing machine manufacturer kind of be associated with, I've never thought of this, with some place where there was a lot of fabric being made, that they're turning the fabric into something else, and it would be a good place to have and sell hundreds of sewing machines. It says here, during its heyday, the Florence Sewing Machine Company maintained prestigious offices on Broadway, New York, and had foreign depots in Cuba, Manchester, Glasgow, and on 97 Cheapside, London, which was dubbed the European headquarters. The main selling point of the Florence was its reversible feed. I've seen that. Allowing the clean finishing of hems and other work. The machines were available on either side feed, with the work being drawn from left to right or back feed. So just like down here, they were known for making sacks for grain and for ground corn. So apparently the Florence The basic Florence machine with plain treadles sold for $45 in 1873, with another $10 being... I wonder how much that translates into our money today. So I'm kind of wandered off, but the point is... The point is, wait a minute, let me get it back. MAGIS. Let's see how small. The point is, when I went looking up the Longfellow stuff, I discovered that Massachusetts has a totally integrated property tax base, or something like that. Is that the way it is in your state, wherever you are? Or do they do it like they do here, county by county? Anyway, I need to go back out to the car. My mind latches onto one thing and then I notice something else. And I think this is interesting. It's different than what I expected. And it looked like all I had to do was put in an address and it like instantly went to it. Some of the GIS I've used aren't that fast. Like around here. Anyway, Steve A.B. Foyal, just having fun, letting his mind wander, and brainstorming it. Saying see you in 73.